For more on this, let's bring in North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum. Governor, welcome to the set. First of all, thank you very much.
Great to be with you, Larry.
So I don't think the Willow yes, Anwar no is even remotely balanced. I mean, it's not even close.
No, these two things are just completely ridiculous, because the idea that somehow the Biden policies are saving the environment, the number one thing that's lowered CO2 emissions worldwide has been the advent of U.S. clean natural gas.
Right.
If he really cared about the environment, he wouldn't be putting a ban on LNG exports. He'd be helping to build more LNG plants. And this solar thing that we talked about here at the top of the hour, less than 4% of the electricity in the United States comes from solar today, and it's intermittent. It's 4% when the sun is shining.
Right.
And 78% of those solar panels built in China. Less than 2% built in the United States. So this is a win. It's a win for China when he does throw $7 billion at solar panels. And then it's also a pre-election political payoff, because these are going to people that he hopes is going to vote for him. And if he really cared about poor people in this country and their electrical bills, under his administration, electricity's gone up 30% in the time that he's been in office. If he wanted to help everybody have like a $1 trillion tax break, then you'd be developing more U.S. energy, and it would help the environment, because we do it cleaner, better, smarter, safer than anyone else in the world.
Yeah, I mean, this is just, a lot of this is just slush fund stuff. This is the government doling out money with no particular rhyme or reason, except under the general rhetoric of climate change. But the fact of the matter is that there's no immediate existential risk. That has never been proven, except in political circles and some media circles. And I think to some extent, it's the immediacy that's a hoax. I'm not denying that there are climate issues for the next 50 or 100 years. I am denying, however, that all this spending ahead of private investment, market-oriented investment, technological advances is just wrong. And that's why I say drill, baby, drill is the right policy. That's not an unlimited policy, but it would bring down oil prices and bring down inflation, and would also protect. We have Senator Sullivan's coming on to talk about Anwar later in the show, so I'm going to push that aside for a minute. But the Green New Deal Climate Bank ATM is what we call it. We have a great picture of it to put up on the screen. That's what this is. This is vote buying. This is a Green New Deal climate buying ATM machine.
Yeah, $27 billion worth across $7 billion today on top of the $20 billion before. But it absolutely, it's a pre-election payoff. And I say, if you really cared about the environment, and when you're talking about expanding U.S. energy production, you would want to have all of that development happen here, because when Biden does things like, whether it's shutting down Alaska, whether it's coming after Texas and North Dakota, it doesn't reduce demand, it just shifts the supply overseas. You know who's up 50% in oil production? Iran. You know who's up? Russia. You know who's up? Venezuela. So when he's doing that, he's actually helping our adversaries, and they're the ones that are funding the terrorism. So part of it, Biden's energy policy combined with his weakness on national security leads to the fact that we've got to increase funding for Ukraine and Taiwan and Israel, because these wars have literally started because of his energy policy.
So the Bidens like to say we're producing more oil than ever before. Which is not exactly true. I mean, it got to 13.1 million barrels a day. It's now back to, I think, 12.8 or 12.9. But the point is that I want to make to you, and you're an oil-producing state, obviously. Pre-pandemic, we were at 13.1 million barrels a day. So at that level, we have moved in 4 or 5 years. We should be at 14, 15 million barrels a day,
yes,
maybe more, if we had the same trajectory. And I think the reason for that is so much is the war against fossil fuels that the Bidens have conducted. We should be way higher than 13 million barrels a day.
Well, absolutely. We should be higher than that. And the fact that we're flat and will be declining while the rest of the world is up is just an indication that his policies are helping our adversaries and hurting the United States. And the crisis that is coming is going to be around electricity, because with the electricity, prices are up 30% under Joe Biden. But he's driving baseload down, creating artificial demand by subsidizing EV cars. Right. And the price is going to continue to go up, and the reliability is going to go down. If Joe Biden's reelected, we're going to have brownouts and blackouts all over this country by 2025, 2026.
All right. Governor Doug Burgum, great state of North Dakota. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you, Larry.
All right.